Obviously, you're not a golfer.
You want a tow? I can get you a tow. Believe me, there are ways, dude. You don't want to know about it, believe me.
Yeah, but Walter...
Hell, I can get you a tow by 3 o'clock this afternoon with nail polish.
That rock really tied the room together, did it not?
Hello! I should have waited to say hello and welcome. There's no stopping me now. Where's that towel at? Welcome to this podcast really ties the room together. AKA Dita De Laurentiis Movie Fanboy Club.
Fanboy. Definite fanboys.
I got a little something chunky in me there. Hello, my name is Joseph E. Frisch. This is a spinoff 2021. With me, the other host is Mr. James Cobble. How are you doing today, sir?
I could not possibly be better.
It's a pretty great day. Pretty great day. A month from now. We might be banking these. Hey, we're here today to talk about such a great movie by the
Top notch.
Yes, Dino De Laurentiis is back at it. Another great movie this week from 1986. The year 1986. I didn't write down the date. I'm pretty sure it's June 6th though. Raw Deal, starring Arnold Schwarzenegger. And every other person you've ever seen from every 80s action movie.
Yeah,
pretty much.
Every
Here's a revelation. I'd never seen Raw Deal. I've seen many 80s action movies, Arnold, Stallone, you name him. Never watched this one.
Yeah.
Thought I had. I hadn't.
I'd seen parts of it before. Mm-hmm. Parts of it were familiar whenever I watched it.
Yeah, I could. There were parts where I was like, oh, have a vague memory of this, of that.
The Jeep chasing the motorcycle. I'd seen that.
Seen that. I seen him in the car at the end with the windshield.
Yes.
I remembered that. Probably just caught parts of it with my dad was watching it or something. Be my guess. Yes, Raw Deal, 1986, June 6th, number one song. What do you think? The number one song. What do you think? Madonna.
Yeah.
I don't know this song. Michelle was like, "Oh yeah, know that one." My wife, "Live to Tell." She said,
Yeah.
She said it was on my favorite Madonna album. She started saying, don't know it. Number one movie, one of the most overrated movies of all time. Almost as overrated as its sequel, Top Gun.
All right. Are you sure it wasn't Raw Deal?
As soon as this came out.
The most underrated movie.
Oh, yes, the most underrated. I thought you meant number one. Because Raw Deal should have been number one. I mean, far better than
just as good.
Top Gun. Number one show, this always depresses me. If you look up number one TV show during the 80s, inevitably, it's almost always
The Cosby Show.
Yeah,
for 15 years,
give
probably.
me this game, though. Oh, I need to stop making that joke, so I'm not going to make it. It's about him roofing his eye. Because it's clearly been going to sleep. All right. I went ahead and told it, even though I took credit for not telling it.
So we've moved from Stephen King to.
I don't know who wrote this, but
It doesn't matter.
it doesn't matter. It's poorly written. God, the acting's awful in it, especially his wife, which we discussed earlier, is from 16 Candles. So there's no point in me like explaining this. Because the plot is just like Ralphie's dad from Christmas Story's son dies. Now, I will say the opening of this movie is awesome.
Yes.
The opening hit of there's a witness, and they don't even tell you, like, they literally give you a couple lines of dialogue.
Amazing opening scenes.
Yeah, there are two in a row. Yeah, you're right. There's a couple. There's several, like, hell yeah scenes, says a 46-year-old. These scenes are kick-ass, man.
We're clearly still hip.
Stuffs are blowing up. So, no, the opening scene, some mob guys are showing up. Well, first they're in an airport, and then they show up at this place in the country. Now, first thing that I noticed was this guy's using a sniper rifle to shoot somebody
30 feet away.
Maybe. I was going to say 12 feet. The first guy he shoots is literally...
But he's hella accurate, you know. So.
I I get it. I've played video games. I like to use a sniper rifle for no reason. He takes out a couple guys. He's like, all clear. And then here come these goons. And these guys look great. They're like mobbed up, suit. Nothing better than seeing 4 middle-aged, pudgy white guys in suits
Basically
carrying
us,
machine
coming
guns.
in.
Us. Put suits on us and give us machine guns. I understand why men love the action movies of the 80s. Yeah, you don't have to be ripped. You don't have to look like you jacked man.
You just look like a fucking shit. You just look like a barrel of bourbon with a head and a suit and a gun.
It didn't matter. The
And
star.
you're just as cool as anybody else in the movie.
Now, of course, the star was jacked. Arnold, of course, is way too jacked. He almost has a sex scene that we see, and the woman is just like, attracted's not the word. When she pulls his shirt off, she's just like, she looks like she's looking at like a prize horse.
Yes.
Or some creature she's never seen before.
Right.
She's just like, oh my God, I don't know what to do with all this. It wouldn't be comfortable.
No.
To hug Arnold? Could you imagine hugging him? I love Arnold, by the way. I think Arnold's turned into a great human being.
I think he's plenty huggable now.
I mean, short of all paying off the Enquirer. The Enquirer bought the rights to his affairs. We just found out in the trial. But short of that, I think Arnold is on the right side of history. But Arnold, to hug Arnold would be a horrible. Just rock hard. Stop. You're hurting me.
I mean, he's just...
And plus, he's going to be judging you. He's going to get his fingers all in you.
It's like hugging a huge penis. Really? Like, he's all veiny. You know, it's
just rock hard.
Yeah. He's just...
a rock hard penis.
Now, women I could see digging, hugging it, but not...
I don't think so. I don't think women want to hug a rock hard penis.
Yeah, I don't know. Well,
I mean, it depends what your definition of hug is.
Right.
It depends. I tried to do a Clinton impression, and my voice just was like, nope. I don't know what you're trying to do, but you can't do that. It depends what your definition of is. That's what I was going to say. At least it was a Skeletor. I've come a long way.
Even Clinton sounds like Skeletor. Hillary sounds like Skeletor.
I did not have sex with that woman. Depends what your definition of is, Your Honor. I feel your pain.
Let him play the saxophone. Poorly.
Hey, I almost called him Arlo, who's the guy that had the show. So it definitely wasn't Arlo. Oh, never mind. All right. The bad guys, we're going to need a couple episodes for this movie. Bad guys barge into this house, blow away.
FBI safe house.
FBI safe house. Everybody's in there doing safe house stuff, playing cards. We get a great joke about John Wayne. How many... they don't tell the answer either. It's my favorite part.
Yeah.
They're playing Trivial Pursuit. He says, how many Oscars did John Wayne win? Not enough. He puts the card back. Doesn't.
No.
You're wrong, by the way.
Yeah, if you're not smart enough to know that answer, then you don't need to know the answer.
I believe it's one. Correct.
Not enough.
I tell you what, if it's one, it ain't enough. The Duke. I heard he had a lot of Satan tattoos on his back. That's why he never took his shirt off.
Yeah, that's why.
That's why I heard.
Not because he's built like me, but just because of Satan tattoos.
I heard he had a bunch of goat Beelzebub tattoos and stuff back there. Whoever that is. Now, so we get this.
Beelzebub?
Yeah. Oh, that's right. Hell, Satan. All right.
They got this at the Satanic Temple in Salem.
Oh, really? Nice.
Yeah.
All right. That's even cooler. They
lived a hard life.
I was gonna say.
As most demons do.
I do like that they spent the extra money to plate it so well.
Yes. Well, I take it to work.
Oh, okay.
It gets put through a lot.
It has a hard. It does
And
indeed
most
have
of
a
the
hard
people I
life.
work with truly appreciate
Like
me
the
having
devil
that.
should have a hard life. I mean,
Right.
he's down there in Georgia, for God's sake. Can you imagine living down there? All right.
That stupid fiddle, God.
Oh, don't get me started on that song. I hate that song so much. All right. They bust in. They start shooting everybody. They kill everybody. They get the. I love this guy. They get this Italian guy who's a witness.
He doesn't even speak English. Like, it's all
No.
gibberish the whole time.
He's just going, oh, Jesus, Marita, Sepe, da Medina, oh, Domingo, da Balada.
Yeah.
And they're like, you want to be a witness? And he's like, da Manolo,
Witness this.
ding dong, eh.
Mario.
Mario, Luigi, where's the Princess Peach? I like a daisy better. Not on a high maintenance like a princess. And anyway, the guy's
Mark
great
that off
line.
my notes.
Great line. Guy puts his face in front of the mirror and says, "You want to be a witness? Witness this," and shoots him in the back of the head.
Yes.
Awesome opening scene. Now we cut to the next opening scene. We need Shark here to tell us what the hell that country song that was playing was.
God.
I don't know if I wrote down. I just have that was great music. Cut to Dad from Christmas Story. I forgot. Everybody's slayed. They cut to the police. It's the dad from Christmas Story with a mustache.
Laying down in a crime scene next to a dead body. Which is what
1986. You're a white cop. You can
FBI.
do whatever you want to.
Yeah. You can screw up a crime scene by laying in it if you want.
Oh man. He says 27 years in this blank, not a scratch. I didn't realize it was his son until like 30 minutes later in the movie. And I was like, oh, that was his son that died.
Yeah, the guy that didn't speak any English. He was all straight Italian.
Ralphie went away.
Ralphie,
Foreign
yeah.
exchange student.
I don't think it was Ralphie. I think it was the younger kid.
Oh, what was his name? Ralphie. I can't remember. I never can remember his name. Randy. That was Randy. Randy went away on a foreign exchange
They should have
program.
had
Never
him all
came
wrapped
back.
up in like a huge snowsuit where he couldn't move. Just tortured.
Not
him.
eating his potatoes.
Just, why don't you eat? He got food in front of him, but he can't bend his
He's
arms
do-
to eat.
he's
That's how
doing-
they're torturing him.
He's doing the piggy thing. What's the little piggies do? Oh, mamma mia, what do the piggies do? Oh. Mama taught me well. Where's my daddy? Ralphie. This daddy's gonna kill Ralphie. Ralphie should have came back as the hero.
That's a nice twist on
Ralphie-
Christmas Story. Making a mafia movie. Daddy's gonna kill Ralphie.
Daddy's gonna kill Ralphie. He's gonna do it.
Of course you get your kid a gun when he's 5 years old. Whenever you're in the mafia, he's got to defend himself.
True. You don't get a no Red Rider. You get a Brownie 9mm.
Get him an Uzi.
It's true. 80s. It would have been a Uzi.
Yeah.
All bad guys had Uzis in the 80s.
Yeah, they did.
Uzi. Even sounds good in the 80s.
And it sounds Italian.
Uzis.
Is that Italian?
Hey, give me the Uzi. I think it's Japanese.
Well, it sounds Italian.
Same thing.
They
All right,
rob
no.
the Italians.
All right, there's country now. This country music kicks in, and Arnold is chasing a cop, what appears to be a cop on a bike. What's up with Arnold chasing a policeman?
It's like he's chasing Ponch and John there. All of a sudden, from chips on the. I was like, hey, leave Ponch alone. Like, what's your freaking deal? You're a sheriff.
Well,
You're not a real cop.
Once again, it's a Dino movie, so it's a Republican's wet dream.
Right.
He gets to chase down immigrants. There's a scene later where, conservatively, for 18 minutes, he's just loading guns and putting them in a bag. It's got the coolest music you've ever heard.
It was almost like the music from what was that? The court show, the TV court show.
Night Court?
No.
Law and Order?
No.
That's all of the court shows I can think of. People's Court?
Yes.
Dun.
The defendant.
The defendant.
Blah, blah, blah.
No lie, a friend of ours that lives right down the road, named Matt, no last name, he used to have a thing hooked up so he could play that whenever you entered his house. You open the door. Dun, dun.
How did I miss that?
I don't know. It was a thing for a hot minute. Oh, man.
How did I either miss all of that or not do it myself? Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's genius.
That's
Matt,
pretty great.
salute.
Matt goes to a lot of trouble to do just fun things, but I've always appreciated about him. I helped
Last
him.
name start with an S?
D.
De La Roca? Matt De La Roca?
Let's write down here. I once, he had an old Oldsmobile giant thing he got for like next to nothing, and he wanted me to paint it. So me and Tim down and painted it camouflage and then painted the Slayer skull great big on the door. He called it the tank. He drove it around until it blew up somewhere on some back road. He just drove it to a ditch.
Well, what else do you do with something like that? It's the only way it can go. It's a Viking death.
So Arnold's in this Jeep. He's chasing a he's chasing the cop on the. He's chasing this cop. He's you're like, what's Arnold doing? Chasing this cop? Is he a bad guy?
Yeah, because Arnold's not in uniform.
No, he's not in
So
anything.
it looks like he's chasing a cop.
Yeah.
Like he's the bad guy.
Yes, and like you said earlier, he's destroying his Jeep. I mean, he's putting it through hell. He gets the. Oh, I wrote down, is this which was first, this or Rad? Because the chase scene in the railroad log tie factory is the same as it is in Rad.
Yeah.
When the cops are chasing the kids on the bikes, it's almost identical. Anyway,
I think Rad was Rad before this movie.
this was 86.
I think Rad was like 85.
I feel like it was. I think this is a ripoff of Rad. And Rad has Aunt Becky bike dancing, clearly with as a stunt man, because it's the most unattractive Aunt Becky's ass is ever. She's bike dancing,
So much like Roadhouse.
and now she's in jail. Coincidence?
Lebowski is a spinoff of Roadhouse. Mm-hmm. Raw Deal is a spinoff of Rad.
And Full House.
And Full House. Or is Full House is
Because Full House is a spinoff of Rad. And then in real life is a spinoff of Full House when she went to prison. Aunt Becky, I hope you're doing all right.
she's fine.
Arnold's chasing this guy. He gets in front of him somehow. He gets in front of him somehow. And I do like about this movie's direction, it doesn't show you everything. It's not taking, you know what I mean? Like a lot of movies.
It definitely doesn't show you.
No, it does. What a lot of movies would have showed you, like him pouring the gas, blah, blah, blah. It doesn't. He's just standing by his Jeep. He has a container. He lights a cigar. This was at the peak of Arnold loving cigars.
Yes.
Everybody's just sucking on nasty big cigars. Just like, not nasty. I like a cigar, but like they're always sloppy looking. These movies like they've been sucking on them for 3 hours.
Yeah, these aren't the cigars that we got from
This looks like early.
from what's his name's wedding.
From Oz.
Yeah,
No,
these aren't quality cigars. These
Yeah.
are just like
Shout out to
Oz.
our man Oz. No, they weren't these. These were like, they look nasty and suck. They look like porn from like 2007 to 2012.
what Bill Clinton
Just
used
like nothing
in,
but the nastiest suck jobs you've ever seen. Like it was a fad. Where you're like, what the fuck is going on?
Clinton used a cigar and those kind of cigars.
Oh, that's where you think it came from. I was just talking about aggressive porn stars. All right.
So was I.
Oh, okay. I actually, no lie, I doubt Brando had. I made a video, like I used to just make videos to send to people just to F with them, and it was a video of me. So it's like, the camera's looking up at me. I got my shirt off. I'm like, ah, and then it's cut with like Kelly Wells, who's like just a disgusting person, and it's her just like. Not only going to town, but saying like horrible things. So her thing was not only at one point she like makes a horrible noise and says, "You made me taste what I had for breakfast," and it's literally just intercut.
So is that ATM?
No,
Because that would.
she just choked that bad.
Okay.
But it's literally
So this
cut with
wasn't
me
like
being
a lot
like,
later. This
me
was-
being like, oh, was it biscuits and gravy? I had scrambled eggs. Cut back to her.
This odd conversation about breakfast.
And so it's just basically me trying to make mundane out of these weird, disgusting blowjobs. I should redo it, honestly.
Yes.
It's a winning.
Yes.
Anyone that ever saw them, first of all, were for a minute, because they were pretty well done. So for just a second, you would be like, oh, Jesus Christ.
Oh, you could use
Is this fresh getting a
horse face. No affair. You could use her instead. No affair. Horse face. But you gotta add in the accordion hands too. So
Anyway, wow. I don't know where that tangent came from. Watching
on a
up.
raw deal.
Raw deal.
There's raw deals everywhere.
Arnold throws his sloppy cigar out. It catches the road on fire. The biker drives through it, crashes. Arnold takes him in, busts him. He's impersonating a police officer. We find out Arnold's the sheriff of this small little town. He goes home.
Ruins his $35,000
Ruins his
Jeep
awesome
chasing
Jeep.
this guy. Punch.
By the way, you seen the new Broncos? New Broncos
Yeah.
are kind of dope.
Yeah.
And they're not insanely expensive. They're,
Right.
They're
They're
sorry.
still Fords.
Shout out to Broncos.
Shout out to Ford.
Yeah.
People push.
OJ still run. People to buy. By the way,
I've got a
into,
Dodge that clearly never breaks down. Dodges never.
No, Dodge has run forever. Check out episode 290. We have footage of OJ dying that we watch on TV. Speaking of Broncos. All right, Kelly Wells is
We're off the rails already.
By the way,
We haven't even gotten into the movie yet.
I meant to tell this story last episode. Because one of these movies, there's just a gratuitous shot of a chick jogging. And her boobs are bouncing around.
There was the one in this one also.
This was this one
Yeah.
then. Okay. Yeah, we'll get to it. I'm just going to say it now. Went out to dinner. Went out to lunch with my wife. A couple days ago. I'm not going to say where we went out to eat. It's one of my favorite places, but I don't want a bunch of pervos showing up there.
All our fans rushing
For
us,
what I
wanting
tell-
autographs.
For what I tell you, what's going to happen here. Now, where we sat, it's a 2-story restaurant, so they have service upstairs, downstairs. And where I sat,
It's not near St. Louis.
not in the suburb offshoot of St. Louis, Stone, Illinois. Where I sat was like right towards the stairs. So I sat with my back against the wall. I'm looking right towards the stairs where they're like this for me. Wife's sitting here. Now, keep in mind, I'm informing my wife about this whole thing. There's an unbelievably attractive redheaded waitress. That doesn't matter. She has humongous boobs.
It does.
She has humongous boobs.
Okay.
Like, just like big, like not like whatever. They're big boobs. They're like you. Any woman, man would be like, "Hey, now, there's some big boobs over there." She's going up and down the stairs, and at one point, I told my wife, I was like, "I think I'm on camera right now. I'm pretty sure this is a prank show, and at any moment now, somebody's gonna jump out and be like, "Hey, old pervo," because
I feel like
she
that
went
my
up
whole
and down
life.
these stairs every minute, and she would very happily bounce down the stairs as she ran. So as she ran down the stairs, every minute and a half, it was literally just like a ba-doom, 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 ba-doom. And I'm telling my wife, I'm like, I can't. These boobs are bouncing down the stairs
not
every
notice
2
this.
minutes, and I can't not be like, Jesus Christ, there's these huge boobs. I think they're braless boobs that are just like, ba-ba-ba-ding, ba-ding, ba-ding. Enough so where my wife's like, I gotta look at these boobs. But I really did think, like, I'm on a show, and at any minute, they're going to pop out and be like, we've been filming you, you old bastard.
You pervert.
She's 22 years old.
She's 17.
She's so perfect. All right, back to Raw Deal.
Daddy says she's too young, but she's old enough for me.
Boy, it reminds me of that joke that somebody brought up on the show. I think it was Shark. It wouldn't have been me.
No, there's no way Shark would have brought up a joke like that.
Said something like, if there's fur on the Garfield, play ball. Which I thought was tasteless.
Inappropriate.
Tasteless stuff. All right. He's a sheriff. Arnold's a freaking sheriff.
I forgot we were doing the movie.
I
I
wrote
got 5.5 pages of notes on this movie. Forgot we were doing the movie.
I wrote down, I've never seen Country Arnold. That was fun.
Yeah,
I'm like, I
that's
get
fun.
it. Arnold's in the country. There's country music playing.
You know,
Jake Ryan's girlfriend from 16 Candles is his wife, and she is, here's the Dino, like, we need a woman that's going to just annoy the shit out of everybody.
they should have done Uneasy Rider in that scene.
Oh, yeah, that would have been nice. That would have been real nice.
It would have been a
She's,
great song for that movie.
She's got a cake. She cooked him a delicious cake, which she's mad about. She's like, what are we going to eat? And of course, Arnold's like, what are we eating with this cake? And she's like, nothing. It's all we have. You're going to make us fat.
One cake.
Arnold, she's seriously got some issues here. The cake's not the problem.
Yeah.
But Arnold's too obsessed with it, this cake.
The typical 80s oblivious guy.
Yes. She throws the cake at him.
We're not worried about what's actually wrong.
We know that somehow he has been exiled from the city. They're in the sticks.
From the FBI.
From the
general.
FBI.
Yes.
That's what we get out of this scene.
So he's in like Sheller as the sheriff.
Yes, he's a sheriff in Jefferson County in Shell, dealing with playhouse disputes. Now, we get. Here's the thing about this movie. I couldn't keep track of anything or anybody. I didn't know who anybody was.
Yeah,
who they were talking about.
Warring factions in the mafia.
Yes. Are they friends? Are they enemies? He goes to see Ralphie's dad, and Ralphie's dad is he's still railing from Randy's death.
His FBI mentor.
Yes, his FBI mentor, and he's like, I need you back. And he's I'm going to send you undercover. I need you to tear apart the crime families.
For
like,
$45,000.
Throw away your life.
And none of this will be sanctioned by the FBI. If you get busted, you're just done.
I kept writing down, is this The Departed? Because it's really the story of The Departed. So yeah, Arnold, he goes there. He says, I wrote this down. They let somebody out of prison. I don't know who the F they're talking about, but Arnold says about them, he molested, murdered, and mutilated that girl.
And that's why Arnold broke several bones in his body
That's why
was
he's
kicked out of the
kicked
FBI.
out of the FBI. Yes. I did not put that together. I'm
Yes.
too stupid to get raw deal.
We can't leave out the cutscene.
Oh, the cutscene.
We can't.
I got attention drawn to it. You talked about it. He tells him his son died in the thing, right? He's like,
Ralphie's dad says.
Yeah, he's like, how is he? He brings up his son, and Arnold's like, I remember we went to some baseball games together. It's like, that's right. How's he doing? And his long beat, takes a beat. He's dead.
Fades to black.
Fades to black, sound cue and everything. Fades back in. They're still in the same freaking room. It's the same conversation happening.
There's no reason for a cutscene, but there is one.
There is one. Like, they couldn't figure out how to make it impactful. It didn't work.
Yeah.
It had to be like...
they had to cut out 30 minutes of commentary, of conversation about that.
Something, yeah. It just cuts back, and I bet you're right. I bet it was a big conversation where it's just like, this does not hold... Yeah. Ralphie's dad cannot hold people's attention for this long, and Arnold can't do the emotional payoffs of just nodding his head and being like, I'm so sorry, Ralphie's dad.
Like a good neighbor. State Farm is there. It's neighbor. That's what I said.
We got out to change the tire, and I said, fudge. But I didn't say fudge. I said the mother of all curse words. Arnold's sitting back in his back seat.
Scared that his dad, his FBI mentor is going to come in. Upset that he said fudge, but he didn't say fudge.
But he didn't say fudge. I want the Red Ryder BB gun with exit stock digital and exit valve episode BB gun loaded peccadality.
You shoot your eye out, kid.
No! They got to Santa too. Now I want to see the Christmas Story with Arnold. Poorly placed. Like poorly done. Just Arnold's face over Ralphie's head the entire movie. Oh, do I got to? Oh, do I got to, Mom?
Arnold in there, and the guy's face that played
The Goonies guy? Wait.
I don't even know. I'm just gonna stop.
Raw deal.
So, by the way,
Yes.
last episode you were talking about the water we were drinking, how it's dirty. And
Yeah, so it's
I was gonna
weird
make
colored.
I was gonna make a Goonies reference
Ah,
about the water they were drinking in Goonies,
yes. And now,
but I didn't.
full circle, now the guy from Goonies is here. And I just called him Goonies in my notes constantly. It's all I know him as. I think his name's Max.
Yeah, which might have been his name in Goonies too. I'm not sure.
They turn on the
He was a
TV.
Fratelli.
Yes, they
He was a
turn on the
Fratelli.
TV. Johnny Carson is on trial. Fat face Johnny Carson is what I called this guy. And Darren McGavin and Sam Wanamaker are those that are the actors. And if you look up both of them, you'll be like, holy shit, these guys are in everything. But yeah, he's on trial. Oh God, I watched this on Freevee with Freevee commercials. Did you?
Yes,
Oh, Freevee.
it's the only way to watch.
Well, I was but I was getting ready to say, Freevee, could you watch the frickin' movie? Because there are built-in breaks, but they're like, no, we're just gonna.
I honestly, I think the
Okay.
first time I watched it was on Freevee,
Yeah.
and the second time I watched it, I'm pretty sure it was on Prime, where there wasn't.
I wish I would have found the Prime cut.
Oh well.
By the way, last
When I found
episode.
it, I thought about calling you, but I was like, nah, just let him watch the Freevee one.
By the way, Maximum Overdrive last week available on Amazon Prime. This one's available on Freevee. Raw deal. We're not talking about this.
And Prime, but watch the Freevee. It's better.
So he tells him he's got to go undercover to get this guy. I do like this scene. He's like, you got to lose, you got to disappear. By the way, his wife that we hate, the Lisa Simpson of the movie, we never see her again.
Never.
He brings her up once in like a little speech. He talks about her.
He said, I almost
He
called her.
almost called her. That's it. That's all we ever hear from her.
Which should have been like how Lisa Simpson was treated in Maximum Overdrive, but
Yes.
it wasn't. She was featured.
She should have, I mean, honestly, in that first wreck, that bulldozer should have ran her over.
And they should have just talked about her the rest of the movie instead of
Yes.
her being in it.
Oh, God, remember how annoying she was?
She could have been do you
guy-
remember Miss Comte? And she would say, in all of the literature that we read in Waltonville,
Go ahead. Keep
That-
expounding.
that she would say that there's a Christ-like character in everything.
Of course.
Lisa Simpson could have been that Christ-like character in Maximum Overdrive, but they kept her alive instead, which ruined Lisa's. I'll take some of that gourmet ice if you're dealing there, Jackie. So I want to talk about, and we can keep track of all of the felonies that Arnold commits in this movie.
Oh, you're right. I didn't even think about this. but
as a
yes.
lawman, as an ex-FBI agent, and a current sheriff.
Yeah.
I would like to keep track of all of the felonies that he commits.
Isn't it an insane amount?
It's not even countable.
Tobacco here.
Because the next thing we're getting ready to talk about is where he goes to kill himself, or unalive himself.
Yes, this is my favorite
he
part.
unalives himself, which is the
He drives into
accepted nomenclature of.
It's true. I hate it, but it's true. He drives into a factory that has conservatively 100,000 barrels.
Okay.
Stacked up.
So the third time I watched this movie, I I noticed that when he cuts the lock to get into this
So you can say that it's been
ex-oil
broken into.
refinery, but now it's a barrel yard or whatever.
Yeah. Yes, it's a barrel yard.
The sign says on the fence,
Long-haired hippie people need not apply.
and under that it says that this place is no longer in use.
Yes.
Basically, in that it but when he pulls in and tries to unalive himself, there are vehicles there.
It's true, yeah. So are there people there?
Yeah, there are.
There are. You
There
think
are
he killed
other people, yes.
You think he killed other people in the place?
And so whenever he parks his car, turns on the gas or the petroleum extract, whatever it may be, and then disappears and then drives around the tank on his motorcycle to leave.
Sickle.
He pulls at least, what did I put down? 75 feet away to shoot a flare. A flare gun.
Yeah.
And explodes.
I didn't notice it was a flare gun.
It was a flare gun that he shot in it. And explodes this oil refinery.
I mean, it goes up.
That with several cars there.
Yes, there are cars there, which implies you're right. There probably are some human beings there.
With an explosion that happened. So it could have easily wiped out half of Jefferson County. It was enormous.
I like the fact that we see a lot of barrels, granted. I alluded to it.
But there's so many.
But when he turns the corner,
Yes.
all of a sudden there is a wall of barrels.
Wall
It's
of
more than
50-gallon barrels.
It's more than Trump ever completed of his wall. This wall
Absolutely. It's enormous.
puts Trump's walls to shame. It's 40 feet tall.
Had that been on the border, people trying to get in would have been like, there's no way we can get in. There's no way.
There's no way.
Wall.
They're going
is
to
so
set this thing on
complete and
fire.
So amazing.
And the explosion, like you said, would take out
Half of
It's a
Jefferson.
terrorist act. Like it's
It would get from the Scheller region to all the way to Hamilton County, I believe.
I think so.
It
And
was
then
an enormous explosion.
the fallout, the weather would be changed for days because of it.
It could have brought on a new.
Now, I
whole
do
new
have a
ice
problem
age.
with
It's so big.
I do have a problem with no body, but whatever. I guess they didn't find the body.
There's not going to be a body. Well, there are going to be bodies because other people are obviously working there. They're going to get burnt up, which obviously Arnold.
Now, he
doesn't
goes
care
back to
about.
Ralphie's dad's after this, and Ralphie's dad, no, he doesn't. Ralphie's dad gives him a tape. I love it. It's it's not used these days anymore. Ralphie's dad is on tape telling him about all the bad guys. So you see a montage of all the bad guys, and they have great names. I didn't write any of them. I should have. I was having too much fun.
Can I just mention the fact that when he blows up the oil refinery, he's putting all the firemen in this local fire district at risk also. And he's wasting the resources of this small town that have to come out and put out this fire just to fake his own
Just to fake his own death.
that he unalived himself.
Yeah.
And so, I'm sorry.
Pretty good plan, though, if you're sheriff. It's a good way to go. Short of the no body.
Short of the nobody.
These days, it wouldn't work. They'd be like, well, there's no body found.
Okay, so I'll wipe out
There'd be
that point.
conspiracies. I just have freebie. Commercials suck.
Okay.
After that,
At this point, I have
cut to Arnold. Go ahead.
have-
Breaking into, go ahead.
Hammer Lamonsky.
Hammer, that's right. It's one of the bad guys' names.
One of the greatest names in the history of cinema.
Hammer Lamonsky. It's
That's
right.
what I have written down.
It's such a great name.
Hammer
I should have
Lamonsky.
wrote it down. It's one of the bad guys. As Ralphie's dad tells you who the bad guys are, Hammer Lamonsky comes up. That's one of them.
One of the greatest names ever in the history of cinema.
Now, I do like it. It's great. I wish this movie, like when it is on, it's
starts.
great.
Oh,
It's really good when it works.
Yeah.
There's large chunks of it that just like the whole. Why did he need a wife? Like the whole.
Right.
Cut that out because this part actually does work. I actually
the
like.
movie would have been better if he had he not had a wife.
Oh, it would have worked so much better. The part where he is like becoming An Italian? Yeah, that's happens. A
From-
Polish
he
guy.
goes from Polish
a
to
Polish
Italian.
guy who has no accent, Polish accent. He's still talking
He's got
in
an
Austrian.
Polish guy with an Austrian accent.
Changes to an Italian guy. But I do like it. It's very Sergio Leone. Like a whole scene where he slicks his hair back. He's
Yeah.
got the wife beater on. What are they called nowadays, by the way?
I think it's still wife
Is
beater.
it still wife beater? I got one on
I
right now.
still think that's
That can't be. That can't be. Zoomers, I hit something on the table. Zoomers have had to change that, right?
I mean,
Just an undershirt or some boring crap, right? It's probably like old man shirt now.
yeah.
Which is
Probably.
funny because that's what I called it when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Old man shirt. Okay, Arnold's got his hair slicked back. He's
Right.
fully Italian now.
Yeah.
So he goes in. So he's supposed to I don't understand his plan at all at first. He goes into a gambling establishment, right?
Right. Yes.
And he
But-
says that
To get there,
oh
the,
yeah,
the elevator guy, he hands him like a 10.
Oh, that's right.
He's like going down. He's like, there is no down.
It's like, oh yeah, there is tonight.
So Arnold
Have
hands
you
you
seen
like
that
a-
Kelly Wells
So
video?
hands-
I've been talking about.
So Arnold hands him like a Hamilton.
Yeah. It's not,
He's like, yeah.
oh,
He says,
he
he
lights
said-
out. His
quote-
eyes light up like
His
he just got
his
1,000
quote is, "I'm not a cop. I'm a player," which convinces this guy to let him into this
Oh.
mafia run,
Yeah.
illegal gambling ring.
Yeah.
Which all it takes is a $10 bill.
$10
For him to
bill.
say he's not a cop,
Like I
he's
said,
a player.
his eyes light up like Kelly Wells herself was there.
Oh, yeah.
To give him a good time.
Huge fights.
You think we could get Kelly Wells on the show?
Could we?
She's from Rockford, Illinois.
You think we could?
I'm sorry.
I'll throw in some money. So Arnold,
Yes.
I'm
It's
sorry,
It's
Mark.
gonna be fun finding pictures of her to put on that clip that aren't pornographic.
Why would you avoid them?
Well, we got to be on YouTube.
So Mark,
I guess we could upload this to X videos. It might get a lot of. It might be our biggest demographic. Hello, fuck.
so to people all my age, you remember the American Triple Ecstasy theme song? It was just a guy whistling. That was American Triple Ecstasy. S418, I believe, was the satellite and the channel. Not that
Wasn't
I know.
on Galaxy.
S418. I think I'm right.
Oh, Zoomers
So-
will never know.
So, Mark Comiskey, goes into this illegal gambling, mafia gambling place.
Yeah.
Busts the fact that the table
Table's
is
not
rigged.
straight.
No.
Table's
There's-
not straight.
there's
And
magnets.
how does he do it? He throws some
Some
metal balls
some
down.
ball bearings. Some ball bearings.
That's all he had to do.
Nobody thought of that.
Nobody thought of it. The whole
Everybody's
place.
like the mafia can be trusted.
I wrote down here, all hell breaks loose.
Pretty much what I wrote down. Huge
Oh.
fight scene for no reason.
Good God. I can't read my notes anymore.
He destroys.
My glasses are too fogged up. Okay, yes. He flips over the table. He says it's rigged. The place freaks out.
Yeah, everybody's fighting. Everybody's stealing money.
Yeah. The bad guys then have a meeting. I love this, how sloppy this was. And Johnny Carson tells the other guy, like, you don't work in this town, not for me, not for nobody. And
He
this-
also ran through the gambling establishment with a tow truck.
Yes, that's right. I forgot. He gets in a tow truck.
Because they're like, we're going to kill that guy. And he's like, no, because I'm coming back.
I'm coming back. I'm not
30
done.
seconds later, I'm coming back.
I'm not done. I flipped the table over. I
Yeah.
beat up some people. I'll be back. He asked
I'll
him.
be-
I'll be back. That's why he had the thought.
I swear, the entire setup of Terminator came from this movie.
A little bit.
Where he could have said, I'll be back.
But he
They're
did.
like, somebody watching the movie was like, he should have said, I'll be
But he
back.
does say, "Can you get out of my way?"
Because the
to a
guy's
group
like,
of people.
and the one guy, he's like, tells us to get out of his way. He's like, your lights. Turn your lights off. From the tow truck before he
Yeah,
runs
that's
into
right. It sounded like Christopher Walken by your lights are off. Turn turn your lights on.
That's exactly how it went.
Chip, my big boy. So he
You know
runs.
how we got these lights here?
Your father, great grandfather,
stuck these lights
in his ass. The only place he knew that blank could keep his blank hands off of. Can't say that.
Now they're on this tow truck that you're gonna run through this mafia place. Sorry, go ahead.
It cuts to my day. It's like, I told her just to get the. Never mind. All right. Arnold, school bus. That's where I'm at. He tells this guy, oh, I broke my pen.
I saw that.
The school bus, I do it to every pen.
Oh, I said, so I put,
we're doing so well explaining this movie.
so add Grand Theft Auto to the list of laws that the police and the FBI have broken.
Absolutely. I do love the way he demolishes this place. He not only drives through the front of it, he just keeps going. It's like, have you ever watched that movie Tank? I think it's on Amazon or
Have I watched it?
not the Tank movie Tank we want to do. There's a modern movie, it's on Netflix, called Tank, and it's about a guy who builds a tank out of a truck and then just goes and demolishes his hometown. Eric Dubach style.
I was getting ready to say, but I didn't want
Yeah,
to.
we're not going to get into that. Okay. He shows up at another, after this, he goes and robs the Johnny Carson's girlfriend's jewelry.
Yes.
He's in a limo. He gets in a limo. She gets in a limo. It's not cool.
And she says, when she gets in the limo, she says, "What are you doing here?" Mm-hmm. Which is an odd line. Had I got into a limo,
And Arnold Schwarzenegger.
and I'm expecting just a limo driver, and there's an enormous guy, muscle-bound guy with a gun, the last thing I think I'm going to say is, what are
you doing here?
Who the hell are you?
Yeah, what are you doing here? Yeah. What's going on here?
Yes.
Why are you here?
Probably about 4,000 questions that I would ask before. What are you doing? Insinuating that I know who you are.
I know you. Yeah, you're right. That's something you say to somebody you know. What are you doing here?
Right.
Because the emphasis is on you. What are you doing here? I'm pointing at the camera. You. Watching on YouTube.
And that's this character is what we believe, we haven't looked it up, to be Mercedes Lane from License
to Drive. I think you're right.
I think it looks like her.
He steals her jewelry just so he can then go to these other bad guys.
But she acts like she is hot and bothered.
Well, I think that's the thing, is all the women, when they see Arnold, have to be like, I want some Arnold.
Right.
Give me some of those massive man boob pics. So then he shows up at this swanky.
The Allerton building.
Okay. What's that mean? I don't know.
It's in Chicago.
Oh.
Hold on.
Oh, yeah. Is the bad guys? Where's the bad guy's office? Where's Johnny Carson's office at?
It's in Chicago.
Because it's definitely Chicago, but it's got the slanted, like, is it in the, I'm drawing a blank here.
I have, in my notes, after the Grand Theft Auto, the hit on the mob boss is the worst job ever pulled by organized crime. At least 12 people.
Oh, yes, the school bus, right?
At least 12 people
yes.
are on this school bus with automatic
and they kill
weapons.
One guy.
And of the 4 people that are there, they killed one guy.
Not a single
low-life
shot.
Bodyguard.
Yep, he says he was a good kid.
Says, Tony was a good kid.
Tony was a good kid.
Make sure you get a good replacement for him. You son of a bitch. That's the quote I have written down. I had to pause the movie. Lacey was so annoyed that I wrote down a paragraph about that scene.
Annoyed because my wife was getting texts that Jamie is taking notes on.
And if you notice, in that scene, the bodyguard is on the opposite side from where all the bullets were coming. And he got shot up. And the mob boss that was laying with his back to the bullets didn't take anything.
Oh. Yeah, no, nothing.
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 So the
It's
guy that was shielding him from the bullets was on the wrong side.
And why did the bus just keep driving? Stop the freaking bus and unload on them till
It's
they're
the
dead.
worst hit of any
It's
mob
so bad.
scene.
At that point,
in
I was like,
cinema
I'm on
history.
Johnny Carson's side
Right.
at this point. Why not? Just let Johnny
You
Carson.
son of a bitch. Tony was a good kid. Make sure you get a good replacement.
That's what you want to hear when you die.
Which also
I hope Tony wasn't quite
ties
dead.
back in later in the movie.
Oh yes, good about the replacement.
No. Well, the replacement is
Arnold. Right?
Arnold.
Yeah.
But there's reference to Tony's replacement later.
Oh,
He names Tony's replacement later.
I didn't catch this. I'm
Dude,
excited.
I'm deep in this movie. Deep.
So,
Then he goes to the Allerton.
I said I don't know. Oh, this is where we meet the DA. Is that right? I said this dude's in everything.
Technically, this is where, after that scene, then he goes to the Allerton movie and goes to the gambling.
Yes.
We got a little out of order.
Yes, he goes to the swanky game. He's smoking a huge cigar. He meets his guy. That's where he meets Goonies.
Yes.
That's where he meets the other boss. And once again, I'm totally confused. I don't know who is who, who's going where. We're so much out of time. There's a bunch of guys chasing him through an alley. After that, there's an alley fight.
So Max tells him.
Goonies.
Max.
Goonies, right?
Yes. So
Goonies.
the bomb boss says, Max takes care of things, all kinds of things.
Yep, that's right.
And then he says, "I'm the best." Max says, "I'm the best," and Arnold says, "If you're the best there is, then the wheel would have never been made."
Is that right?
Yes. Yes. He says it.
What's that mean?
He doesn't say made. He says invented.
If you're the best,
if you're the best there is, then the wheel would have never been invented. That's what Arnold says. And then I have in
He's so
quotes, in Miami, you can tell how everything is going by the flow of the blow.
I like that.
Flow of the
I like that line. The flow of the blow.
She was so annoyed when I paused the movie to write that down. She's like, "That's not worthy." I was like, "It's absolutely worthy."
By the flow of the blow.
Flow of the blow.
I watched Scarface's research for this movie, and I know you can tell the way things are going by the flow of the blow.
So, at this point, they give Arnold, he's in his job interview, basically.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
And they give him $1,000 worth of chips.
Yeah, that's right. And he goes down.
He goes to the table,
And gives
that's a
him-
couple, and then gives them
to the chick who's lost her money. We've barely known her. He comes by there. She says, "Bad losing builds character," and it says, "Winning builds your wardrobe," implying that she's dressed like shit.
Right. And he makes a fat joke about her later.
He's the worst. But then he gives her the money. So then he gets chased in the alley. These dudes, he's beating him up all right. And this is when we meet the cop, who's also from everything. I wish I would have done a little research. I don't know this guy's name. You've seen him in everything. He shows up. He doesn't really. He says Joseph P. Brenner. Is that right? Yeah.
What's the P
stand for?
And Arnold's
Pussy.
For no reason. There's
No reason.
There's no reason.
And the cop goes, "All right, I'll see you later." You're a white guy. You got jumped by a bunch of not white guys in an alley.
I'm just a guy that got jumped by 3 guys in an alley. And the cop comes and says, like, "What's the P for in your middle? What's the P for in your middle name?"
Pussy.
And I'm just like, "Pussy." And the cop's like, "Cool.
Cool. See you, man.
All right, man. You have a good night."
That's when we have the 1986 jogging boobs for no reason.
Yes.
She jumps up. I was so confused when this was happening. She comes up with a gun, sticks it to a guy's head, says, "We're going to go." They make a huge bust.
So the police do a raid here
Yes, they're raiding.
in a house where she is out front.
Yes.
She distracts the watch out guy.
Yes,
the
that's
watch
right.
guy.
Bouncing boobs. This is when
Did
I was going
you-
to tell my story about eating at the restaurant I won't name about the hostess with the bouncing boobs.
Did you notice the amount of money in there when they bust in? There's money piled.
There's
and
money
it's not
everywhere.
Stacked.
No, it's not stacked.
It's like it came out of everyone's pockets.
I don't know if it was like to try to trick the camera. Some of it was too big. I don't know if you noticed that too.
There were shelves on the wall, and it was spilling over the shelves, but it was still connected.
That's so much money.
I'm sorry, the mafia doesn't work that way. The mafia is very, because with my ties.
I was gonna say, you know about the mafia.
The mafia doesn't just
If anybody I know.
wad their money up in huge piles.
No. That place gets busted.
That's shown twice, by the way.
Johnny Carson's mad. This becomes the second thread of the movie, which is Johnny Carson wants his money and his drugs back after they've gotten stolen. He keeps saying, like, it can be done. Hey, it's weird, wild stuff. It can be done, Ed. We can break in there and break into cop stuff and yeah.
So after the scene, I have still looking for the replacement for Tony, the bodyguard.
Yes.
This is Arnold's in to the mob.
I did like his quote here where he says, "It's nice to be one of the family."
Yes.
And everybody's treating him like crap.
So Tony, poor Tony, that was a great, obviously, bodyguard. Because when a mob boss names you when you die, even if he is saying, we need to find a great replacement for him, that's an honor. Mm-hmm. So to even tie that back in and say, still looking for the Tony's replacement.
Yeah.
And then that's Arnold's in.
It's Arnold's in. He gets in. Then he comes downstairs. Who's he talk to? Talks to the chick.
From the last
time. She's outside. She needs a ride. And he's like, he pays the taxi. Real class move. He like pays the taxi driver off to just drive away.
Yeah, because he pays him for the 10 feet he pulled up to pick her up.
Yeah. And he's like, I'm taking you home.
Yeah.
Cut to, he's drunk on champagne. Nothing like drinking 3 bottles.
3 bottles of champagne. They're both soft.
I just wrote down gross.
He passes out before they can have sex.
Could you imagine drinking that much champagne? First of all, I'm allergic to champagne.
Oh,
just
really?
one sip of champagne,
What about just regular bubbling cider?
I don't know. I just know that,
or is it just champagne?
Like real champagne from the Champagne region.
Right.
If I have a sip of it, my stomach will seize up and I will like literally curl up in a ball.
Really?
And just be like, oh God!
We should do
Why?
tests on
Mimosa Mondays.
Yeah, we should do tests on how far that stretches out. Is it just legit champagne or is it sparkling wine?
I found that out when I was very young. I was in a wedding party. And, they were like, it doesn't matter if he's 14.
It's Dom Perignon. I'm drinking it.
He could have some champagne.
Yeah.
And they gave me some champagne, and I was sick for the next, hour and a half. Not alcohol sick, just, my stomach hurts.
New show.
What's Eastwood allergic to? Let's get some tilapia in here. Get my eyes swelling up. He takes her home. He passes out. Did she slip him a Mickey?
No.
So he just got drunk on champagne.
No. So here's the thing. That's what I thought.
By the way, sorry, we are so out of time for the radio show. Thanks for listening, everybody. WGBX 91.1. We did not get anywhere close to this movie. I'm sorry. Completion of it. Tune in.
First 3 seeds.
To 20 and 21, wherever podcasts are found. 20 IN 21. Thanks for listening. We love you, WGPX. Now, we're on the motherfucking podcast now.
Okay, we're not even into this movie yet.
No, I have Fat Johnny Carson has a cool office.
We have to do another episode to tidy this up, I think.
I don't know. I think we could. Surely. I mean, Fat Johnny Carson has a cool office. Arnold's on the job.
So,
with the Goonies.
Here's the thing. He was acting.
Arnold?
Yes.
What? Hey.
He was acting with the champagne.
I've had too much to drink.
And she was acting with the champagne.
Ah.
So when he's supposed to be passed out and there's snoring sounds, she's on the phone.
Yeah.
Informing on him.
But he's listening.
But he gets up and he's listening.
So
neither one of them
are
drunk.
Fake. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. All right. That makes more sense because 3 bottles of champagne. And his drunk acting is not very good.
And
I would not have been convinced.
He passes out.
I've been around a lot of
because
drunk,
he's married.
I've been around a whole lot of people that are drunk and getting ready to pass.
I don't know where you would have been around those people.
But they don't act anything like Arnold. They usually say stuff like, "You can do whatever you want, just don't do any butt stuff."
Yeah.
Sorry, that was a college joke.
But it's really
No.
This is where
Johnny
I have-
Carson's pissed.
This is where I have. We wanted to check your water heater today, Sarah.
Sarah.
But the keys have been moved. If you would tell us where the keys have been moved to, we'll take care of it. We wouldn't want you to freeze to death in the water. The mob boss calling this guy.
Yeah.
Or calling this girl. He's clearly concerned about her water heater because he's clearly concerned about her health. He doesn't want her to get sick from a faulty water heater and no water, So.
Yeah. Hey, what's going on? Juju's stepping
What's
into the
up,
show. You need anything, buddy? What's going on,
Mr.
man?
July?
What you need, man? Yeah, help yourself. You're good. A little hungry. Yeah, throw Cop and I a snack.
Yeah,
Just
hey.
joking. You don't
A little
need
grilled
to.
cheese? Something? A little something?
Fat Johnny's back in his cool office. Arnold's on the job with Goonies. They go to what I thought was a new wave club. It's a trans club.
They go to the worst gay strip club in the history of mankind. Is what I have written down. I don't think that's.
I don't know what it is.
I don't think it's out of line. I don't think it's woke or unwoke. I just think that's what it is. It's the worst gay strip club of all time.
There are. They go and rough up Arnold and Goonies. Go and rough up a guy in the back. They throw some lipstick. No, some nail polish.
But Arnold does that to prevent the guy from getting killed.
Yes, he says, "This is what you look like dead."
But I don't know what that was.
But I think it was nail polish.
Maybe.
I think. But there's a bunch of transvestites back there, or drag queens. You're right. It was. I don't know what it was. It's a weird scene where I was like, "What is this? This is a new
We
wave."
need something to look like blood.
Yeah.
That's what Arnold said.
It was in a new wave club until you see the bartender, and I'm like, "Oh, this is cool." There's just a gay bartender in this movie.
Kind of.
And then you're like, "Wait a minute, something else is going on in this club." And then when they get backstage, there's
It's clearly where
it's like drag
the
queens
mafia
and stuff.
has a lot of meetings or something.
Yeah, they use it there because Goonies is pretty happy about being there. He seems quite at home, to be honest with you.
But it's irate that Arnold stepped in
Yes,
because he was going to knife him. Goonies was going to knife the guy.
Well, of course, Goonies is going to knife him. What else Goonies going to do? Who are these guys? Oh, this is now there's we're in a department store. Arnold's buying some clothes for this lady. He's got his lady with him.
Yes.
What's a guy in the 80s do to help his lady? He buys some clothes for her. Just shut the fuck up. Oh, we're not on the podcast anymore. We're not on radio anymore. Shut the fuck up. Let me buy you some clothes.
I have something to add here.
Okay.
Did you notice in this movie that the mob boss, no matter what scene, no matter where he's at,
Johnny Carson.
He's always that guy.
Yeah.
He's always at a desk,
Oh, yes.
and there's always medication
Oh.
on the desk.
ED.
And they clearly show
No.
that it's medication.
You're right. I didn't think about that, but you're
But they
100%
don't.
right.
It's
They never
not-
address it.
It's not like somewhere down the line in the movie, there's a fight scene or there's a gunfight and the guy has a heart attack. There's nothing like that.
No.
There's no reason for the medication to be. on the
No,
desk.
you're right.
But it's always in the scene.
What's it for?
I don't know. There's no explanation.
Johnny Carson.
I don't know if the guy has like emphysema. I don't know if he has.
Yeah, you're right.
I don't know if he has gout. I don't know if he has. I don't, there's no explanation for the medics. But
hey,
there's
Ed, I had to get a little amoxicillin.
Hey, this gout, I'm telling you.
The third wife left a little something extra for the alimony.
Yeah. little something we got to fight for at the Alamo here. I mean,
I just
we
had
got stuff to
a
tell you.
slippery nipple at the Black Lizard. I love Dana
there's
Dana Carvey does this great thing of it's just Johnny Carson saying what drink he had at a bar. It's a pretty fun because you can just make up anything. Like I just had a brown Betty at the Black Oasis.
I tell you what, Dana Carey doing Johnny Carson.
Yeah,
Did I just say?
you said Dana.
Did I say Danny Carey?
You said Dana. You know what's weird is I
So the
went
drummer
out.
from
I
Tool.
went
when
out.
he brought
I
up-
went out with a Dana Carey in college, and it was hard not to call her Dana. It's like, when are you gonna do your George Bush?
So the drummer from Tool, when he did all his jokes about Johnny Carson,
I tell you,
I'm just gonna.
Dana's one of
my
those
notes.
dudes
Yeah.
that you kind of took for granted at
Yeah.
the time.
And you
And there's
didn't
nobody
truly
like him
appreciate, but-
now. And when you hear him now, there is an element of like,
Yeah.
that's kind of, isn't this funny? But it's also a little cheesy.
Yeah. And it's-
But it's still so damn funny that I love him.
we didn't realize the genius in the moment of what
Yeah.
was acceptable, what wasn't in the moment
Yeah, you're right.
in that time. And
And he was people loved him, but not in an appreciative way necessarily that they should have. Does that make sense?
people didn't love him in an appreciative way. Yes. That makes total sense.
like it was a very popular it's a very popular character. But it was like
He was overlooked at the same
it's
time.
what I say about Billy Joel. Billy Joel is such
Yeah,
a good
okay, I get it.
songwriter, but he writes pop songs. So
Right.
people are just like, where I'm like, you realize he's better than Elton John, right?
Right,
I
right.
love Elton John. But Elton can't-
Uptown Girl is better than anything Elton John
Well,
ever did.
Elton doesn't write his
Are
own
we saying that?
lyrics. No, Elton. Yes, for Shark Show, we're saying that. Uptown Girl's better than anything Elton ever did. Elton doesn't write his own lyrics for the most part.
Yes.
Bernie does.
Yes.
And I love Bernie's
Bernie
lyrics.
Sanders writes
Bernie
all
Sanders.
of
That's
Elton's
why they're
lyrics.
very pro-union, if
Yes.
you haven't noticed.
Like how
Ron
my voice cracked
Kuby.
on union. And Ron Kuby, yes.
What was I talking about? I had a point to
The
it.
movie, I think, Raw Deal.
Fat Johnny Carson. I just have it over and over there. He's not even fat. He's just got a big, weird head.
Yeah, it's just,
Oh, yes, the department store. He's buying her some stuff. These guys show up and they say, kiss her goodbye, shithead. Big fight breaks out.
same guys that try to beat him up.
Yes, that's
in the
right.
alley.
In the alley, which I didn't realize at the time. It was late last night. I was like, who are these? I kept writing down new people.
It's clearly factual because I have it written down right here. Same guys that try to beat him up.
Then Carson calls Arnold. He wants his money and his coke back. We're already out of time.
I'm telling you, this is a 2-episode deal. Because I have 3 more pages of notes.
No, we're gonna get through it.
So the mob boss says, don't let him in too fast. We don't want him knowing, too much too fast. We don't want him knowing
Sorry
too much
about that.
too fast about our organization. This
Yeah.
is the mob boss.
The
saying.
boss. That's
The
the
very
boss.
next scene.
The boss of this family.
The very next scene. Arnold's learning about the entire plan on how they're going
Their
to break
entire
into
operation.
the police station and steal their $100 million
That's right.
worth of money and drugs back.
Yep.
Which is a little bit of a plot hole, I think.
I like this. Yes, it's absolutely a
Yeah,
plot
the
hole.
mob boss is like, don't let him in.
Don't let him in too fast. Now get him in here and tell
Get
him
him in here and
everything.
let's talk about it. And Arnold comes up with the bomb plot.
Yes, and the boss is happy about that.
Yeah.
He's like, "Yeah, you got it, Joey." His name's Joey, by the way, at this
Yeah.
point.
Joey Butterfield,
And I
I
think,
think.
yes.
It's what.
And that song "Joey" by Bob Dylan about the mob
Wait,
mob
I thought
boss.
that was Concrete Blonde.
No. There's a
Joey.
song. There's a song called "Joey" by Dylan that goes like this.
Well, there's one by Concrete Blonde.
Joey, king of the streets, why did you fall so fast? I don't know. That's not right. It's about a mob guy that dies called Joey. I think it's about this. But anyway, Joey's lady, they go out to dinner. We're so all over the place. She throws his. I love this part. She gets undressed in public. She throws a dress at him. Then she throws a drink in
The
Goonies'
only
face.
way you will ever end up lying next to me is if we're
Yes!
hit by the same car.
Car, yes. Great line.
That's a great
Because
line.
Goonies is like, hey,
Goonies is like,
you like my my pocked face?
Goonies.
You like my scarred up chicken pock covered face, baby? I'm Goonies.
It's a great line.
You've seen me in 100 things.
It's a great line.
It's so good. Yeah.
The
but
candle. Did you notice the candle? So they're at an obviously an extremely expensive restaurant.
Yeah, obviously.
Very romantic, very fancy. The candle is this tall. It's like a birthday candle. It's so skinny. It's so out of
I
place.
didn't notice.
God, let's pull up the footage.
I wish we could.
It's such a weird candle. It's not a big candle that you would expect. It's like it's like they took 3 birthday candles and put them all together, and they're like, it's like this tall, but it's like an ink pen lit wick. It's and they're having this whole conversation around this candle.
'Twas the fashion of 1986 of the most
I
fancy
couldn't pull my eyes away from the candle.
I didn't notice this candle.
I put down in my notes. I blacked out around the sink because all I could focus on was the candle.
I didn't notice this candle.
She takes off her dress. She throws it at him.
She throws it at
Arnold. Stomps
Arnold.
off. Takes a drink off of a server's tray.
throws it
at
in Goonies. Yes.
And then bashes
Yes.
the glass against the wall.
Throws it.
And then a guy off camera says, "Hey, that's my kind of woman." Yes. Yes. That's
Oh,
my favorite
God.
scene. It might be my favorite scene in the whole movie. Except for the end.
Well, right after that, I wrote, "Is this a Departed again?" Yes, the Goonies, Joey, they're in a car. Now, I do have a clip of what's coming up here. Oh, we find out the DA is dirty.
Yeah.
Goonies has a guy from Miami.
So
we
that's
find out
That's
about
the guy
that.
that got Arnold kicked out of the FBI. Is this guy?
Yes.
Is this guy?
Yes,
The dirty
he is a
rat.
dirty DA. We've seen him from the beginning. He is also a guy that's been
In
a
12,000
thousand
movies.
things, and
Yes.
he's been like 50 to 70 for the last 45 years.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I can picture him now. His nose got pointier and shinier, and like his hair got thinner and slicked back and gray. But it's that dude.
Yeah. He's been in at least 200 movies, playing the same exact character.
Oh, exactly the same. Sleazeball. Lady shows up again. Goonies is honking. Now this is where I love this part. They go to a funeral. There's a funeral happening.
Oh, that's way down in my notes.
And Harry, well, I skipped a bunch of stuff because we're going so long. Harry is there at his son's gravestone.
Yes.
So Ralphie's
Yeah.
dad
Okay.
is
We
at
can't
his...
skip this line.
Okay,
we
go
can't
ahead.
skip this line.
No, what do you got?
So they're getting ready to do a hit on the guy that coming out of the Jewish mosque.
Okay, that's right. Yeah.
And so the hitman's got his gun
Yeah.
out the window. He's getting ready to shoot, and all of these people are coming out, and they're all complaining about all these people. And Arnold says, "Do you own a calendar, Max? I bet it's a Jewish holiday." And
What?
explains why all these people are coming out of this.
No.
Yes, I'm telling you, it's in there.
I didn't catch that at all.
But yeah,
Oh, God.
Arnold's talking to him like he's an idiot.
Oh.
Like, do you not own a calendar, you idiot? It's like,
It's a
I
Jewish
bet it's
holiday.
a Jewish holiday. He doesn't know either. Arnold doesn't know, but I bet it is.
So I'm going to go here to this clip I have of, let's see here.
So we're going to skip the bomb squad scene.
Oh, I forgot about the bomb squad.
That runs completely straight into, they call in the bomb threat. Then the
Yes.
police call them back. The bomb squad runs in, robs the evidence room, takes back the $100 million worth of drugs and money that the police confiscated from the mafia and put it all into the little container that they're supposed to put the bomb in. $100 million of money and drugs. They put into this little bitty container somehow. Because that's the whole plot of the movie, really, is that's what they're going after. That's not the whole plot, but that's the whole purpose of the mafia.
Yes,
is the mafia's going back after the stuff that got
that's
confiscated.
right. And I actually liked the so they blow up a soda machine.
Yes.
In Ralphie's dad's precinct. He's like, "What the heck? They blew up."
Oh, I have a quote on that.
So apparently this is stuck on the screen. I can't play. I have a clip here, but it's not.
Where's that at? Because she was so upset whenever and we argued about the quote. She Googled the script
to see what the quote was,
to prove me wrong, and then it proved me right.
Well, there was awesome music at the graveyard scene. I do know that.
Go to the strip club. Hold on.
Arnold, inexplicably, he so unceremoniously kills.
Okay.
Goonies. Go ahead. What do you got?
Half-assed, pro-life terrorist, well-loving.
Yes.
Is the quote.
I was like, what? Who is this? Who are they talking about? This isn't a real person.
Yes.
A pro-life.
A half-assed.
Half-assed.
Pro-life, well-loving terrorist. Is who blew up the soda machine.
That's
according to
yes,
the Christmas Story Dad.
Yes.
That's his FBI.
That's what he thinks.
Yes.
That's his
I
theory.
wrote it down, and she's like, "That's not what they said." And I said, "It is." And she looked up the script.
That's a real Woolrich move right there.
She was like, "You should turn on, the subtitles."
I do. I watch every subtitles.
Said, "No."
Oh, yeah, I do.
I know what they said.
I can't help it.
And so she wouldn't take that. She looked up the script, which is understandable because I can be a little overbearing and I can be
wrong,
really wrong,
yeah,
and still believe in myself. But she didn't.
She looked up the script.
She questioned me on it, and
it was right.
And she was like, "Damn it, you're right," which is amazing because I was right for once in my life.
Like I said, unceremoniously, Joey Schwarzenegger kills Goonies, just shoots him because they're like, "Oh shit, he's shooting my boss, my mentor, Ralph's dad's over here by the gravestone." Bam, 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 shoot him. Schwarzenegger takes out both of the goons, one of which is Goonies.
Right.
This, I had a clip ready to go here, but the TV is froze. The car chase. This most awesome music starts playing. When he goes and the girl pulls back up and he's like, "What the hell are you doing here?" And she's like, saving your ass.
In his own car.
In his own car. And she does save his ass. They drive off. Then
so there's a car chase.
I just wrote down peak action music. Go ahead. There's a car chase.
There's a car chase, right? Mm-hmm. So they're trying to kill the other mob boss again.
That's right.
The people being chased are in a car with bulletproof glass,
and it makes
an effort to show.
I was gonna say, this because you get a lot of close-ups on,
and it says bulletproof
glass
or bullet-resistant glass.
Yeah,
is what it's in all of these scenes where the bullets are ricocheting off.
Yeah.
Yet, these geniuses in the car decide to roll down the windows to shoot back.
Of course, shoot back.
To shoot back.
Christopher Walken's here. We're gonna shoot back.
And that's when they all get killed in the car.
Oh yeah, you're right.
But that isn't. It's another half-assed failed mafia hit.
Yes, this mafia.
None of this
Chicago mafia
kills the guy.
Clearly, this is a pro-New York, anti-Chicago mafia movie.
You've cracked the case.
This is New York made movie, wanting to poke fun. Oh, in Illinois,
The
cute.
Windy City.
The Windy City.
Oh,
They
would
really,
you have one mob boss there in their whole lives?
they
And
really
he
think
was-
they got the mob there.
He was clearly had a disease and he was mentally incapable.
Once you go to the Field Museum, you fucking prick.
Just because Trump likes to talk about how cool.
Now, I will say, Joey Schwarzenegger.
Yes.
This is it. 46-year-old Eastwood. I got to admit, I loved it. This is a Trumper's wet dream. He goes back home and he just starts loading guns and throwing them in a bag. Conservatively, 25 minutes.
I don't want to skip the end of the hit scene though.
Oh shit! Go for it. What's happening?
So had it not been for dumb luck,
Mm-hmm.
because the driver's still alive, even though the buffoon's protecting the mob boss in the car that
Yes.
they're trying to hit,
Yes.
all roll down the bulletproof glass to shoot back, and
Yes.
all get killed. The driver and the mob boss are still alive
Yeah. Yes.
until an absolute accident, freak of nature accident happens where the limo drives and hits a tanker truck
Oh yeah.
and blows up.
It blows up.
So the whole hit is a failure again. So there's several hits in this movie
Telling
that
you.
are total failures.
Chicago mob sucks.
And it's just a freak of nature that
Chicago
they end
mob.
up running into a tanker truck that blows up.
Whoa. He agrees. We got an agreeer up there. All right. So this is, like I said, this is a Trumper's wet dream. He's got like 35 guns in his duffel bag. He's got a belt with shotgun shells. He is ready to go.
Yes.
Joey is he's geared up. He
The
drives
scene is
off.
sexy for several. Okay, it's sexy for women that
women?
love
Guns.
obviously masculine, hugely muscular men.
Oh, I can see that.
It's sexy for men that love muscular men. It is sexy for men that love guns and hiding them. And
Leather jackets.
it's yes.
Men that like
This is
leather.
where this is like the fourth takeaway that they took from this movie to come up with Terminator and his.
Yes.
In his-
I really did think that. I was like, that jacket is very Terminator-esque.
The whole movie is where his character came from.
Yes.
for
I'll be
Terminator.
back. The leather jacket.
Where he should have said, "I'll be back."
The rest?
but didn't. Yes, they were like, "Shit." He should have said, "I'll be back" there, but he didn't. But that. I think that was the starting point, and then this scene
Yes.
just nailed
So then,
it.
yeah, I've come by this point.
He loads 47 different guns that are in his bag for his suit.
As the guy in Maximum Overdrive said, I loaded my pants by this point.
Yes.
Then he takes off in a convertible, which isn't convertible enough because he's got to shoot.
He
and
shoots
then
his window out
kick out the windshield.
because you can't have a full windshield and go into a gunfight and somebody shoot it and then you can't see.
That's right. You can't. And you often might want your gun underneath that
Which happens several
windshield,
times.
which happens several times.
Yes.
I do love this scene. It's just him driving around in like a
circles.
quarry in circles, just blasting people. Nobody comes close to hitting him. He kicks out his window. He puts in a tape. He
There
loads
was
up Rolling Stones' Satisfaction.
Somewhere in there, right before that,
Mm-hmm.
all of this happens. At the rock quarry,
Uh-huh.
they show inside the room
Yes, the
where
little
there's
trailer office
also
thing.
piles of money.
So much money and coke or drugs, whatever it is. Yeah. It's where they took the loot, right, from the bust of the
Yeah. No.
from the cop shop.
No.
No,
No,
just more
it's
money.
different. It's more money, more drugs.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
Yes.
He shows up, listening to Satisfaction. He blows everybody away. It's amazing stunt work. There's just dudes falling all over the place, sliding.
It's a master class.
It's sliding. It's stunt work that you don't see it anymore. He kills everybody. Then a giant dozer
Yes.
slams into him, and then one
They
of
try to
those
crush
like
him.
giant trucks, like it looks like a Tonka truck but for real, comes
Yeah.
at him.
Enormous. Like
Enormous.
2 stories tall.
He jumps out of the way right in time. It blows up. He kills everybody in the thing. What happens then?
Cut to the elevator scene.
Elevator. I was gonna say there's an elevator gag. Carson's men. Johnny Carson's waiting for him in his penthouse. There's an elevator coming out. He's got all kind of goons.
It dings.
This scene went on way too effing
It
long.
dings.
It
The
dings.
elevator
dings.
It
What
opens.
happens? It opens.
There's clearly no one there.
People just
Everyone
unload.
in the room empties their
Empty
gun
their guns.
into what is clearly
An
an
empty
empty
elevator.
elevator.
Classic gag. You knew something was up. There he pops out of a vent. He takes everybody out. Like I said, this takes way too long. It should have been way quicker. But he kills everybody in the room until he gets down to Carson. He kills Carson pretty easily.
Right.
Why does he pour candy over him?
I don't know. It's not candy.
What is
candy.
it?
It's drugs.
Oh, it's drugs.
They're pills.
I thought they were Reese's Pieces.
I did too at first, but I watched it closer. It's drugs, but I don't understand the drugs either. I don't.
I was like, why did he pour those
It's all
candies
like-
all over him?
Color coded drugs.
Then the DA, he gives the DA a gun. He's like, kill yourself.
See, you have more notes than I do.
And DA is like, he doesn't do it. He jumps up. He's going to kill Arnold. Arnold spins around,
I skipped all that.
kills the DA. I was like, why? Blah, blah, blah. Then I'm like, at this point, I just wrote down, Jesus in this goddamn movie.
See, after the elevator scene, I have best actor in the movie is the nurse at the end of the movie that cries.
Oh, yeah. She's all right.
She's the best actor in the whole movie.
She's way better than
Because
his
she's
wife.
trying to get the dude to stand up.
Yes,
Arnold comes
yes.
in, gets him
Yes,
to walk,
that's right.
and she cries.
She cries.
She's the best actor in the whole movie.
Before we get that, there's a plane. He tells his girlfriend that I'm like, why do you care about her? Why does she care about him?
Pointless.
Why? What? Why do you guys care about each other?
They barely know each other.
You've lied to each other. Your relationship's based
they're
on
spying on
lies.
each other.
Lies. He gets her to get on a plane. I'm like, God
She
damn
wanted to
it.
have sex with him.
It should have been. Yeah. I was like, and I was like, it should have been a chopper because he goes, go to the plane.
Yeah, going to the.
And I was like, God damn it, Arnold. Once again, they were like Predator. Somebody's watching this, like, it's almost good, but it should have been, get to the chopper.
She
2
should have been
minutes.
shaving her face when he said that.
Breaks
With
it.
a fucking just a straight razor.
Breaks it on there. Cuts her chest, pulls out a knife, cuts her
Pulls
chest
nipple
open.
off, sticks it in her mouth. Something. Just
Then-
hardcore.
And then a
but
minute later,
nothing than that.
off screen, we hear her die. No, he gets her on the plane. But a minute later, a chopper shows up. I'm like, damn it.
Yeah.
Here's a chopper.
Yeah.
It's the cop, which we've brushed over. He's caught him several times. The cop just comes up and he's like, I always thought you were one of us. Cool, man. Leaves him be.
I'm out.
That's it. We- So, last thing we see. Was there somebody in the bathroom? Hey, last thing we see, Ralphie's dad. He can't walk. Hey, you coming to get on mic? You're going to replace Jamie for the last segment of the show?
I'm probably not going to talk you to Mike. I'm just
Well, it can pick you up. It hears you right now.
Oh,
Let's hear it. So let's hear what you have to say about this. This last part of this movie. This guy we know, he's Ralphie's dad from The Christmas Story. It's him, but he's a cop. And he's very serious in this movie. And he's been shot. And somebody says, like, they're trying to get him to walk. And he's like, I'll never be nothing but a cripple. I'll never walk again. Leave me alone, nursey. Leave me alone. And she's like, you gotta walk again, mister. I don't know why she has that voice. But she's like, you gotta walk again. The dog's barking everywhere, mister. You gotta try, man. You gotta try.
well,
Anyway, Ralphie's dad's like, I don't want to do it. Then Arnold shows up, right? And he starts helping this guy. It reminded me, I had that kind of therapy when I was young because of all the operations I had on my leg. And he gets Ralphie's dad to walk toward him. And by the end, I can't say words now. All right, you can go back now, Juju.
Yeah,
Thanks for taking
Thanks for
Copple's
filling in,
place.
July.
Bye bye.
Thanks for filling in, buddy. So then, Arnold gets him to walk, and he's like, "You son of a bitch!" And then, like you said, the nurse starts crying. God damn it! If it doesn't freeze frame on Ralphie's dad and Joey Brenner having a little embrace and a hug.
Absolutely.
And that's the end of the movie. We're way over time. Raw deal.
Raw deal.
Does it go in the 20 greatest movies of the 21st century?
Yes.
I say absolutely.
I can't think of anything more worthy.
Thanks for listening. This podcast really ties the room together.
Really ties it together.
God damn it, Tony.